Hi children, good morning. Today we are going to deal with Unit 4 Films and Theatre. Children, I think all of you love to watch films in theatre. So now we will look into a reading Rendezvous with Ray. Rendezvous means to meet. Here in our A reading, there is a unique bond between Gaston Roberts and Satyajit Ray. So, how was the bond? How it became strong? And how they continued their friendship? All that we will learn in this A reading. Okay? Look at the picture and answer the questions that follow. Children, is this picture a poster, an advertisement, or a painting? Justify your opinion. Who is the director of the film? Who are the people involved in the filmmaking? So all the information is in the picture. Find out your answers. And here, oral discourse. Talk about your favorite actor or filmmaker or film. Give reasons why you like him, her, it. Let's look into glossary. Unique. Being the only one of its kind. Unique means being the only one of its kind. Impact. Influence. Acquainted. Make someone aware of or familiar with. Next one, fascinating. Fascinating means interesting. En route, on the way. Stopover, a halt in a long journey. Path breaking, totally new. Portal. Portal means an entrance or a doorway. Trilogy. A set of three films with the same artist or characters. Trilogy means a set of three films with the same artist or characters. Haunted. Obsessed. Endorse. Endorse means declare one's public approval or support of. Accusation. The act of charging somebody. Detractors. People who criticize. Deplorable. completely unacceptable or bad in quality. Arrogance, showing pride. Muster up confidence. It is an idiom. Gain confidence. Dictum, a statement that is believed to be true and followed. Analogy, a feature that is similar. Aesthetic, the art of judging beauty. Fallout. Fallout means result. Agnostic, a person who does not know whether God exists. Children, let's move to our A reading, Rendezvous with Ray. It was an article published in Frontline magazine between July 29th and August 11th in 2006. Frontline is a fortnightly magazine. It means it is published every 2 weeks. Fortnightly means every 2 weeks. In this article, Gaston Roberts shares his great experience with great director Satyajit Ray. Let us read the A reading. It was a unique friendship that developed between a French-Canadian priest and one of the world's greatest film directors and had a singular impact on Bengali films, both academically and practically. It was en route to India in 1961 at a stopover in New York. The 26-year-old Father Gaston Roberts was acquainted with the works of Satyajit Ray through the Apu trilogy. He found the worlds of Apu so fascinating that he saw all 3 films in one sitting. Here, Roberts and Satyajit Ray's friendship was considered as unique. Unique means special friendship because both are in different fields. Gaston Roberts was French-Canadian priest. Satyajit Ray was a film director. Even though they are in different fields, their friendship considered as a unique. And here, the way filmmaking was thought is a academic and the way films were made is a practical. As a member of the Society of Jesus, Gaston Roberts decided to come to India. While coming to India, he had spent a night in New York and then take a boat to India. He found in the newspapers that the Apu trilogy was being shown in a theatre, which is close to the theatre where he was staying. And there began his long-standing love affair with the people of India and Bengali cinema and culture, which led to path-breaking work in those fields. In his latest book, Satyajit Ray Essays, 1970 to 2005, a compilation of his essays, as the name suggests, being published by Manohar Publishers, New Delhi. Robert provides a scholarly, original analysis of Ray's works, giving an insight into the greatness of Ray both as a person and as an artist. Here, he watched all the films in one sitting. In the first film was Pather Panchali, which was made in 1955, and it means the song of the little road. And the next movie was made in 1956, and it was titled Aparajito, which means the unconquered. And the last one of the series of Apu trilogy was Apurva Sansar, which means poor world, and it was made in 1959. Here their friendship led to path-breaking changes in Bengali cinema. It means the friendship brought new and innovative changes in Bengali cinema. In this book, Robert gives us great knowledge and deeper understanding of the great person Satyajit Ray, both as a person and as an artist. The Apu trilogy was, in fact, my first portal to West Bengal and its people, he told Frontline. In his youth, all he knew of Bengal was through Mircea Eliot's La Nude Bengali, some of Tagore's poems, and a Reader's Digest article on Mother Teresa. If the harsh image of poverty brought out by the article on the saint of the slums haunted him, Apu's world came as a reassurance. No, Apu, Sarbajaya, even Harihar did not need my help, but how not to love them? I thought it was fortunate that I would soon be among them, he wrote. Here, Robert says that Apu trilogy was his first portal to West Bengal. It means Robert was introduced through Apu trilogy to Bengal. He told to the reporter of Frontline magazine, when he was very young, he came to know about the Bengal through a book called La Nude Bengali, which means Bengal Nights, are written by a Romanian poet who belongs to Romania. So he shared his experience in Bengal through this book. It helps to Robert to understand about the Bengal. And one more article about the Mother Teresa was published in the Reader's Digest. Here, Reader's Digest is an American and general interest family magazine published every month, means it's a monthly magazine. Saint of Slums means Mother Teresa. This article shows the poverty of Bengali people. It comes continuously in his mind again and again. He could not stop thinking about it. 3 films shows the poverty of the Bengali people. Apu is the boy, Harihar is the father, Sarbajaya mother. Here the Robert says that family managed to live in the poverty and they do not need any help, but Robert likes them a lot. Robert does not endorse the accusation of race detractors that the master director made his reputation selling India's poverty to the West. What struck me most was not the material poverty depicted in the films, but the enormous spiritual poverty of some rich people is much more deplorable than material poverty, he said. Robert does not speak with the arrogance of the West. I was here on a quest to know the world and in the process know myself. I did not come here to convert. In fact, I am the one who got converted, he said. Here, Roberts does not support the blame or accusation made by race critics, raised characters. They all said that Ray made a lot of name and fame by showing India's poverty to the West by his films. But Robert felt differently. He said that he was not worried about the material poverty or depicts in his films. Material poverty means lack of money or property, but spiritual poverty is not being able to know the true nature. Spiritual poverty not being kind and generous. Here, Robert says that people who are not kind and generous, and he does not feel happy, those who are spiritually poor. Here, Robert came to India to convert the people of India, but he got converted, means here he was attracted to Indian culture and adopted. See this picture, children? This picture shows about the race, hard work and dedication towards filmmaking. But it took him 9 years after reaching Calcutta, now Kolkata, and joining St. Xavier's College to muster up the confidence to meet Ray in person. Although I wanted to meet him right away, I didn't want to just go and see him like he was a living museum piece. I wanted to prepare myself, get to know his works more, so that when we met, there could be a worthwhile dialogue, he said. When they finally met, it was the beginning of a close friendship that lasted 22 years, until Ray's death in 1992. Here, Robert waited 9 years to meet Ray. What was he doing these 9 years, children? He was mustering up the confidence to meet Satyajit Ray. He says that Satyajit Ray was not a living museum. He was a living legend. So, he wanted to know about Satyajit Ray, have an worthwhile conversation with him. It was a very quiet friendship that developed over the years. Manikda, as Ray was affectionately called by his friends. Manikda was a shy person and always very discreet about displaying his emotions, said Robert. Though to outsiders, Ray's massive stature, physical and intellectual, might have made him come across as cold, aloof, and even intimidating. He was in reality a very simple and unassuming man with a subtle sense of humor. It was an unspoken arrangement between the two of them to meet on Sundays at 9 a.m. at Ray's residence on Bishop Lefroy Road, Kolkata. Ray would invite Robert over for private screenings of his latest films and welcomed comments on them. But this happened only after the friendship had cemented. Cemented means strong. For in the early days of their dialogue, Ray's shyness prevented him from talking about his own films. Here, most of the close friends called Ray as a Manikda. He was a very shy person. He would not show any emotions, even though he was a great director. He was a simple-looking, skilled person. Most of the people were afraid to go near him. But in reality, he is totally different. Ray had a quiet sense of humor. It was observed only by his close friends, but outsiders might not be able to understand that he had sense of humor. It was an undecided arrangement on Sundays at 9 a.m. at Ray's residence. Ray's shyness prevented him from talking about his own films. After their friendship became stronger, Ray started inviting Robert for the screenings of his latest films. Okay, children? Thank you for watching. This is B.L.Bhavani, School Assistant English. Keep reading until the next video and follow my next video for part 2 of Rendezvous with Ray.